Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank each of you for joining together today. Today is our month in review, May 2023. This is where we review the month's theme and the highlights of our yoga asana practices. So the month's theme has been centering around peeling back the layers. We began with the example of peeling back the layer of winter. Well, that season has since passed. And today, as we look through the lens of yoga, peeling back the layers remains the same, no matter what season it is. So this month, we have studied and explored 4 ways that we can peel back the layers. This is our review. Peeling back the layer of ignorance. Peeling back the layer of habit. Peeling back the layer of distraction. And peeling back the layer of obligation. Your yoga invitation for today is to allow my cues to guide you as we review peeling back the layers. Before we begin to move into our asana practice today, it is essential that we pause and arrive into a centering stillness. So on your mat, in your easy seated pose, however that serves you best today, begin arriving fully, following the rhythm of your breathing. Receive this next deep, deep breath. And as you release this breath, release anything beyond your mat. We'll invite some warming practices as we review peeling back the layer of ignorance. In this nice seated pose, begin stirring of the spine. Just this gentle circular movements that you create with your body. The circle might start out small and slow. It might stay there. You might begin exploring into some wider circles. Just feel the delicious sensations. Remember, it's yoga, so keep breathing. And we'll come back into that center, and then we're going to circle the opposite way. Remember, yoga is all about balance. So we circle the body, Small or large, slow or quicker pace. Notice how breath begins to sort of dance with the body's movements. Oh, let's do one more. And as you come back into that center, just that moment with centering stillness. And the next breath, we'll do some seated spinal waves. So wherever your legs and feet are, please place the soles of your feet onto your mat. Let the hands hold on behind the thighs, behind the knees, in front of the knees or on the knees. A spinal wave as you receive the next breath. Let the hands and arms pull your chest forward. Gaze upwards lightly. Draw the shoulder blades back deep into the back body. Releasing breath. Start to go back through center. Bow the head. Let the hands and arms stretch out. Hold on to the legs so that you can really round through the whole back body. Receive. Go back through center. And open. And as you release, laying back, roll back, open the back body. Continue just a few more of these. Peeling back the layer of ignorance. So the dictionary defines ignorance as being unaware or uninformed. Yoga peels back the layer of ignorance by maintaining awareness, checking in with breath and body. Stay informed of what's happening. And we'll come back to the center and pause. And then you might return to your seated pose with the legs folded or the legs stretched out. And we're going to reach the arms out now. And let the arms circle all the way up. Arms can stay at shoulder width apart. Palms, fingers, thumbs can touch whatever serves you. Let's release a deep breath and just start reaching over to the right side. Head stays in center, please. Just notice where the stretch begins to give you sensations on the left side. We'll go back up into that center. Open those arms to the wingspan. Let the left palm come over to the right arm. Reach the right arm away from your body and turn the head over to the left. And just allow the left side to keep stretching, exploring. You might soften the right elbow. Stay aware. Peel back the layer of ignorance. Follow breath. Check in with body. Stay informed. Ready to come back up. Deepen into the breath. Back up into that center. Again, the arms open out wide. Circle the arms forward and bring the left arm underneath the right arm as you bend the left elbow. We're just going to do a shoulder opening. Receive a deep breath. Uplift the posture. Release the breath. With the left arm guiding the right arm over to your left side, notice where the upper back begins to get the sensations of stretch. Relax the shoulder blades so you can feel those sensations. And we'll come back to the center, unfold that, reach the arms forward, stretch out through the fingertips. It's not just a lift. It's a reach. And then we're ready for eagle arm. So again, the left arm sweeps underneath the right arm. This time we bend both elbows. Maybe fingertips just rest on shoulders. Maybe back of the hands touch. Maybe the palms touch. Eagle arms. As you receive a breath, let the elbows rise up lightly. And as you release the breath, draw the elbows in towards your chest. Bow your head. Round again through the back body as you fold forward. And as we rise back up into that center, We softly release the eagle arms. We reopen into the eagle's wingspan. Bring the arms forward. Plant the hands onto the knees. And again, we're going to lean back so we can place the soles of our feet onto our mat. Reach the hands and the arms behind you. Check in with your wrists. Maybe the fingers point away from your body. Maybe the fingers point out to the sides. It's about the wrists, so check in with what feels best for you there. Lift the heart as you do for that upward spinal wave, and as you release the breath, plant into the soles of the feet. Lift the hips up lightly, gaze up, and then lower back down. One more time, please. Receive. Plant the soles of the feet down. Stay aware. Stay informed. Peel back the layer of ignorance and release back down. Now we're going to pick up that left foot as we rise up. So we lift the hips up. We pick the left foot up. We cross the outer left ankle on top of the right thigh. And we gaze up again. And we release the breath back through center. Bring the hips back down slowly and gently. Uncurl that left leg. Receive the next breath. Arms open back out. Swing the arms forward. Go back into your seated spinal waves. Releasing the breath or receiving. You release the breath to round the back body. You receive the breath to open the front body. Couple more. Oh, breath, body, dancing together, checking in, paying attention, staying aware. Complete your last spinal wave there, please, and return back into that seated pose, however it serves you best. Reach the arms out again. Circle the arms all the way up. Arms stay at shoulder width or palms and fingers, thumbs touch. Your choice. This time, reach over to the left side. Head stays in neutral, please. Just notice the sensations. Remember alignment, so the sit bones stay grounded. The breath stays deepening. We explore into those healthy edges. Let's come all the way back up into that center. Slowly reopen the arms through that wingspan. Softly plant the left palm out to the left side. Right arm crosses and touches the left thigh, knee area. Start to reach that left arm away from your body. Keep the sit bones grounded. Keep the knees open wide if you can. And then maybe you start to turn your head this time over towards the right shoulder. And you might soften that left elbow. Explore again. One more breath. Oh, come back up into center. Feel your body shifting from the deeper stretch back into your center as the arms open out wide and they circle forward. Here comes the right arm underneath the left arm. Bend the right elbow, releasing of a breath. Now the right arm is just guiding that left arm to reach over to the right side. Breathe. Where does it take you? Are you grounded? Are you breathing? Stay aware. You know what you're feeling back with this segment. And we come back to that center. We slowly release that. We reopen the arms through the wingspan. Circle the arms forward. Here comes your eagle arm, opposite side. Right arm again, sweeps under the left arm. Both elbows bend. Create the eagle arms that serves you best. Receive a breath. Let the elbows rise up. Release a breath. Draw the elbows in towards your chest. Bow the head. Tuck the chin in and round forward. Open into the whole back body. Yeah. We come back up into our center. We softly release the eagle arms. Reopen them. Plant the arms down. And then lean back so the soles of your feet can once again go onto the mat. Remember, the arms are behind you now, or they're off to the sides, fingers pointing away. Receiving of this breath, draw those shoulder blades down, lift the heart center up, and lift the hips up. Gaze up if that's available for you. Releasing of the breath, slowly bringing those hips back down. One more, please. Receiving of a breath. You're rising up. So this is kind of like reverse tabletop. And as you release, you slowly let those hips come back down. Now it's time to pick up the right leg when we rise. Prepare. Stay informed. Stay aware. Breath. Receive that deep breath. Press into the soles of the feet. Let the hips hover. Lift up. Gaze up if you can. Reach out the right leg. Cross the outer right ankle on top of the left thigh. Open that right knee out to the side so it's not lifted up. Let it relax there. And release the breath. Slowly bring those hips down again. We'll do one more. Receiving of a breath as you rise up. Gaze up if you can and release. It's a slow return all the way back down. Uncross that leg, bring yourself back into the center. Maybe you give your wrists just a little bit of a circle out in front of you, both directions. And then begin to transition to your tabletop. Knees below hips. Wrists below shoulders. Maybe the wrists need a little bit of a reprieve right now, so you fold the fingers in. Rest onto the knuckles. We're going to do our spinal wave into downward dog sequence. Receiving of a breath. Let's release this deep breath. Let's begin really tucking that tailbone down. Rounding up through the back body. Bowing the head down. Receive the breath, and you go to the upward wave. Tailbone lifts up, crown of the head lifts up, and release. Downward wave. Got that? So this time, when you come into your upward wave, tailbone, crown of the head up, tuck the toes. Reach the hips back. Press into the palms. Hover the knees. And then return to a dreamy or a downward facing dog. Receive a breath. Let the heels rise up. Release the breath. Shift the body forward so shoulders and wrists are stacked. Bring the knees down. Here we go. Downward wave. Tailbone tucking down. Head bowing down. Receiving as you go to the upward wave. You tuck the toes. You reach the hips back. You hover the knees. You rise the hips up. Stretch the legs out. Dreamy or regular downward dog. And one more cycle, please. Tabletop. Tops of the feet down. Receiving upward wave as you tuck those toes, you reach those hips, you rise up to the downward dog. What layers are you aware of that are not serving you today? Peel those layers back. So from downward dog, we're going to take one more nice deep breath. Yeah, and as we release the breath, the knees soften and we walk the toes towards the hands. Just that little walking meditation. Walking meditation. Bend the knees, drop the hips, open the arms out to wingspan. We're going to go into ragdoll, forward fold. Circle the arms forward. Opposite hands onto the elbows. head framing in between the arms. And then allow the head and elbows just to release down. Let them swing and sway from side to side. Come back to that center. Release the ragdoll arms. Transition to your forward fold today, right here, right now, what serves you. And receive a breath. Let's go to our half lift. So we're going to lengthen our spine, fingertips in front of the toes or palms onto the shins. Lengthen, tailbone reaches away from the body. Crown of the head reaches forward. A big, long line of energy here. And as you release the breath, we're going to soften the knees and we're going to step right back to downward facing dog. Big steps back, downward facing dog. Time to begin energizing as we review, peeling back the layers of habit. So let's reach out that left leg, split dog. Where does it take you today? As you bend that left knee, you tuck it under your body. Maybe you rise up higher on the right toes. And then you bow the head deeper and you draw the knee towards the nose towards the knee. And then you reach back and return. Split dog. 2 more. Breathe. Move. So maybe you have a habit of being shy and always doing less than available. Go to split dog. Maybe you have a habit of doing the opposite, always exploring a little further than that healthy edge. Check it out. And with that next breath, release and release the left leg down. Receive that next breath. It's time for the right side. Here we go. Right leg reaches the split dog. How's it serve you? Where does it travel? Bend the right knee. Tuck that right knee under your body. Bow the head deep. Knee to nose, nose towards knee, and then reach it all the way back out. There's habits that serve us well. And then there's some that we might notice that we shy away from. Maybe we need to be a little bit bolder and explore. Or maybe we are always bolding a little too much and we need to step back. Go back to your split dog. Receive. And as you release the breath, bring that right leg down, downward facing dog. And with that very next breath, we're again going to walk to the top of our mat. Heels rise, knees bend. Walk the toes towards the top of your mats. Walking meditation. Bend the knees, drop the hips, open the arms out, reach the arms all the way out and let them rise all the way up. Lift up through those fingertips, upward salute. And as you release this next breath, let the palms, the fingers, the thumbs touch. Draw the thumbs to your heart center. And let the heart be lifted into your thumbs. Please close your eyes or gaze down if that serves you best. And just pay attention here. Breath. Body. The soles of your feet grounding you down with security, with stability, with strength. Thigh muscles are engaging. The tailbone is lightly tucking. The shoulder blades release in the back body. We feel the presence of our breath with the thumbs at our heart center. And we honor our standing in truth today. Yeah. From this place, we receive the next breath. And we're going to go into a little sequence from prayer pose into a high lunge and open star. So as you receive the next breath, you're going to find your drishti. Focus your eyes on that one steady spot. Engage that right leg with muscular energy. Soften the left knee. Come up to the left tippy toes. Feel that movement. Tuck the tailbone. Engage Mula Bandha. As you lift up that left foot, feel the balance. And then hip hinge and stretch that left leg all the way back. You're just going to go to high lunge. So you keep that right heel lifted up, left heel lifted up, and then you reach up the arms high. Palms can separate, arms can be shoulder width, palms can stay touching, what serves you best. As you release this next breath, you're going to softly open the arms out to the wingspan. You're going to pivot on the balls of the feet so you can open to your star. Looking at the long edge of your mat, feet spread out wide, toes turned out wide, arms reaching out wide, fingers wide. Heart center lifting. Come back to the center, turn the palms down, transition to the opposite end of your mat. The right arm circles down, pick up the right heel, spin on the balls of the feet again. Return to high lunge at the opposite end of your mat. Arms reaching up high. Hips sinking down, receiving of this next breath, and let the expression be full. If you have a habit of shy, remember you're going to explore. If you have a habit of always going over the healthy edge, hold back just a little bit, see what happens. And then we open those arms out, palms turned down, hip hinge, keep the arms reaching out. Chest moving towards your left thigh, and then draw the arms back to airplane. Palms facing each other, fingers stay wide. You got it? Releasing of the breath. Release the arms down. Stretch through pyramid so the left leg stretches out, the right heel comes down, and then you step that left leg all the way back, either just a split dog or to your downward facing dog. We're all going to meet together. Downward dog. Deepen into the breath. Yeah. From the dictionary again, distraction is described as something that prevents one from maintaining full attention. So notice what your habits and distraction is here. And with this next deep breath, here we go. That left leg goes to the split dog. We bend the knee. We step it forward. We're going to transition right into warrior two. Right arm reaches forward. Right arm lifts up. Right foot pulls down. Open up the arms to your warrior two. Gaze out. Reach out. Release a breath. Right arm reaches down. Reach it forward. We're going to go to warrior one now. So as you pivot on that right foot, you plant that right foot down a 45 to a 60-degree angle to the front foot. And then you rise up through the arms again. Peel back the layers of habits. Peeling back the layers of distraction. Peeling back the layers of ignorance. Open into your truth. And from this warrior one with the next receiving breath, you're just going to stretch out the left leg. That's all. Just notice, feel. What else shifts? What else changes? Release the breath. Bend that left knee again. Receive the breath. Stretch that left leg out again. You might even be leaning back a little if it serves you. And release the breath. Bending of the left knee. Arms open out through your wingspan. We're going to circle the arms behind us. You might take reverse ragdoll arms behind you. You might just hold an opposite forearm behind you. You might have palms, fingers, and thumbs touch and interlace the fingers behind you. Wherever you are, the next breath is going to open through the front body. So as you receive that breath, you slide those shoulder blades down. You open through the collarbones, and as you release the breath, again you hip hinge forward. You bow towards the left thigh. Wherever your arms are, keep those shoulder blades draw down deep into the back body. Now, if the fingers are interlaced and you can keep the heels of the hands together, you might start lifting the arms up. You might not. You're peeling back the layer of habit and distraction here. Check in. Releasing of a breath. You release the arms if they were lifted. You bring the arms forward. Plant the palms down to frame your left foot. High lunge. So you pick up that right heel. You spin on the ball of that right foot. And then with the next breath, you're just going to reach those arms forward. Feel the reaching forward. Right leg gets stronger, right? And then you pull the body back to center as the arms stay reaching forward. As you receive the breath, let's reach up those arms to our high crescent lunge. And as you release this breath, you're just going to bend the right knee and have the right knee come down towards the mat. And as you receive your breath, you're going to stretch out that right leg again. Push through that right heel. The releasing breath. The right knee bends and travels down towards your mat. Receiving breath. Come back to your high crescent lunge. How about a prayer twist? Let the palms softly touch. Let the thumbs travel to your heart center. Invite the hips to hinge you forward. Chest again, moving towards your left thigh. And then your right elbow. It might go to the inside of your left thigh, the top side, or the outside. And as you use your body in full awareness, without just working from habit and not being distracted, you turn. You turn. You might gaze over that left shoulder. Stay strong through the lower body. Allow the upper body into flexibility. We'll go back to center. So the forearms touch together. The body comes back to center as you shift the torso back to the upright position. And then you move the arms and hands forward. You plant the palms down onto the mat. You step that left leg back again, but this time we go to plank. We go into plank. Shoulders, hips, level. Breath, maintaining. Find yourself focusing on yoga and appreciate the absence of distraction. Yeah, this is me time. Breath. Let's rise the hips. Let's transition to downward facing dog. Couple of deep breaths here. You know, if our habit is always to reach a little beyond our healthy edge, let's give ourselves permission. Maybe we go to child's pose for a few breaths here. Or tabletop. 2 more breaths. Arrive at downward dog. Yeah. And from downward facing dog, we're going to go into that sequence for the opposite side. So it begins with the right leg. The right leg reaches to your split dog. How's it serving you now? As you bend that right knee, shift the body forward, gaze forward, step that right foot forward. Let's open right up into Warrior 2. Spin that left foot down. Open that left arm out to the front. Let the left arm circle up. Feel the body turn. It's a little twist. And then rise the body up. Open both arms out wide. Gaze out over those right fingertips. Arrive at Warrior 2. And to release the breath, we're going to go to Warrior 1. So the left arm releases down. The left heel picks up. Pivot on the ball of the left foot. Plant the left foot down. You know it's a 45 to 60 degree angle. And let your arms rise up again into your warrior one. Sink the hips down. Reach the fingertips up. Focus on your yoga and appreciate the absence of distraction. Yeah. And then we're going to let's receive a breath and stretch the right leg out. Stretch the right leg out. Notice what other parts of your body shift. Maybe the torso lifts up a little higher and leans back. Release the breath. Return to your warrior one, bending that right knee. Receive a breath. Stretch out that right leg again. And a release. The right knee bends. Here we go. Keep yourself into warrior one as you open the arms through the wingspan. Circle the arms behind you. Time to give the front body a nice opening again. Opposite hands to the elbows. One hand onto the opposite forearm. Fingers, thumbs, palms touching. Receive a breath. Draw those shoulder blades down. Release a breath. Hip hinge. The right side of your chest is traveling towards the top of your right thigh. Shoulder blades are down. And then you let the head release. And if fingers are interlaced, you might let the arms reach up, or else just keep those shoulder blades down in the back body. Let's come up together. Receive a nice deepened breath. Slowly, the arms release wherever they are. Circle the arms back down to the mat. Plant the palms outside and inside the right foot. Pick up that left heel. Spin on the ball of the left foot. Now you're in high lunge. Get that left leg muscular, energized. Receive a breath. Arms reach back to airplane again. Palms face each other. Fingers spread wide. And circle the arms down. Reach the arms forward. That's all that's happening. Just feel that. Notice that. Now shift the torso back up into center with the arms still reaching forward. Good. Receive a breath. Go to high crescent. Let the arms rise up. Let the hips sink you down. Here we go. Receive a nice deep breath. You're going to start bending the left knee, release the deep breath, and draw the left knee down towards your mat. Receive the breath. Let that left leg stretch out again, strong. Release. You bend the left knee. You let it draw down towards the mat. You receive, and you return with a nice stretched out left leg. One more. Release. You got it. Stay focused. We're peeling back these layers here. As you arrive into your high crescent lunge, it's time for a prayer twist. Palms, fingers, thumbs start to draw together. Thumbs begin to draw down to your heart center. You start to bow towards the top of your right thigh. Engage that left leg. It's easy to forget. Don't get distracted. And then you start turning your body to the right. The left elbow stays on the inside of the right thigh, on top or outside. And as the palms press together, the head turns and you look over towards your right elbow. And you find home here. And you breathe here. Stay focused on your yoga. Appreciate this new time you've given yourself today. We'll come back to center together. So slowly the forearms travel back towards each other. Body shifts back into the center. Reach the arms forward. Plant the palms to frame that right foot. High lunge. And then step that right leg back to flank. Drop the hips. Intuitively, you're checking in that the shoulders and the hips are at the same level. As you push the floor away from you, or the ground if you're outdoors. As you receive the next breath, downward dog. Feel the hips starting to rise up. You're up onto your tippy toes, and then you allow the arms to reach your body back, and you readjust, realign, reconnect into your full downward facing dog. Yeah. And you might go to tabletop or child. You might walk the dog here with some happy hips. One more breath. Yeah. From downward dog, you're going to slowly bend the knees. And again, walk the hands towards the feet towards the hands. So sorry. Start taking little steps. It's that walking meditation. One little step at a time. Feet towards the top edge of your mat, hip width apart. Bend the knees. There you go. Ragdoll arms once again. Really allow the head to be free here. Allow the ragdoll arms to swing and sway. And we'll come back to the center, please. And then bring the hands down to your mat as you keep the knees bent. And scissor walk the feet out to the long edges of your mat, toes pointing out, heels turning in. We're going into prayer squat with an extended reach from there. So from here, you release the breath. You start to lower the hips down. Now maybe you've taken a moment to put a little blanket or a little support underneath your heels. Maybe you rolled up your mat just to give them a little support so that you can practice fully and not minimize it because you haven't got the proper props that are helping you. When the hips are released, your fingers can stay in front of you. The hips can stay lifted. It's where you are arriving at your prayer pose today. Maybe the palms are joining in Anjali Mudra. Maybe the elbows are in the inner thighs to just help reach them out. Maybe not. Remember, today we're reviewing this peeling back the layers, ignorance, habit, and distraction. So with the next breath, we're going to extend the arms. Receive a breath. Start to lift the hips slightly. Reach the arms forward. Lift the hips again so you feel that burn in the thighs. Interlace the fingers. Extend the index fingers. There's your steeple mudra. And reach through that steeple mudra. Lift the hips one more time. Let the chest stay close to the inner thighs. Release the breath. Draw the hands and arms back and let the hips sink down. Back to prayer squat, okay? Two more. Receive. Hips rise up. Reach out through the steeple mudra. Release a breath. Drop the hips down. Return to prayer squats. One more. The breath is received. The body moves. Hips rise. Extend through the steeple mudra and release back into your prayer squats. Unfold the fingers. Plant the palms down in front of you. Rise the hips up lightly. Let the legs stretch out. Give them a reprieve. Feel that. Turn the feet parallel. Scissor walk them back in to hip width apart. And then step them back so you can go into tabletop. Knees below hips again. Wrists below shoulders. Fingers folded in. Spinal waves. When you release your breath, it's the downward wave. Tailbone and head bow down. When you receive your breath, upward wave. Tailbone and crown of your head lift up together. A couple more. And we'll review this peeling back the layer of obligation. Tricky word. From the dictionary, obligation is a duty or commitment. For our purposes in yoga, we're going to look at obligation as a unwanted feeling of duty or commitment. So you come back to center, and then we'll go into a little threading of the needle. Let those shoulders have a beautiful reprieve. Picking up the right palm, thread that right arm behind the left arm. Come down towards the right side of your face, the right shoulder. Just allow it to happen. If there's any unwanted feelings of believing, needing that you have to do something, peel back those layers. Create something that you want to do. That's peeling back the layer of obligation. Maybe that left elbow stays lifted, maybe it comes down. Maybe you reach out the left arm and just come onto the fingerprints. What serves you? Release into this. One more breath. Beautiful. And then wherever you are, you're going to plant your left palm right underneath your left shoulder. You press into the mat. You let your body rise up. Rethread the right arm back through over to the right side and feel the reaching outwards. Feel it reach away from you. And then let it circle up lightly wherever it wants to go today. And then you release it all the way back down. You receive that next breath. Now we pick up the left hand. We thread that left arm behind the right arm. The whole torso is turning to the right side as that left arm reaches over to the right side. We come down towards the left shoulder, towards the left side of the face. The right elbow can be down on the mat. It can stay lifted. Or we can reach that right arm forward, extend it forward, and come just to the fingerprints. Couple more breaths. Arrive here. Any unwanted feelings? You know you have the choice to recreate, to reconnect in yoga. Then we'll come back together. Softly, wherever that right arm is, plant the right palm under the right shoulder. Rise your body up. Stretch or reach that left arm over to the left side and let that left arm begin to circle up, reach up, wherever it's available for you today. And the releasing all the way back down. Yeah. Back into tabletop for just one more cycle of your favorite spinal waves. And as we arrive back together in our tabletop, we're going to transition slowly into a seated. Keep going to the supine pose. As we begin to finish well here together, feel the body shifting into the supine. Our knees always stay bent. We're using support or not. And when our whole back body has rested on our mat, we pick up our feet and we're going to give ourselves a beautiful little hug. Let the hands and arms help draw the thighs in towards your chest. Or maybe the knees are moving towards the armpits. What serves you here? We'll come back into that center. The knees were opened wide. Nice little hug. And then begin to slowly release the hands and arms and release your feet down onto your mat. We practiced some eagle arms in our warming segment. So now we're going to complement that with eagle leg supine twist. With the knees bent, feet and knees hip width apart. The breath is received so body can once again engage and connect. When you release the breath, You're going to pick up that left foot. Release the next deep breath deeply. Let both hands and arms hug just the left thigh in towards your chest. It might be towards the outside ribs. It might be more towards the center. But just feel that hug on just that left side. Got it? Then release the hug. Release the hands and arms. Bring the left outer ankle on top of your right thigh. And we did this in the warming segment too. Arms will open either to your wingspan or to your sun god arms. Now let that left knee really reach out away from your body. Might even take that left hand just for a moment. Feel that opening. Want to feel the opening of the hip so we can really flow into our eagle leg twist today. So when you notice that opening, then you're going to softly lift up the left knee so it lifts up, and then hug the back side of your left thigh to the top side of your right thigh. The left foot is just over to the outside of your right leg, or you pick up the right foot and you wrap the left toes behind the right leg, whatever serves you again. With that next breath, feel the sole of your right foot, press into it, lift up the right hip, and shift it over just a little bit towards the left side. And then bring that left hip down. Is the head still in neutral? Are the shoulder blades down? Are the arms opened wide or sun god? And we're ready. The receiving breath. Releasing of the breath. Now the knees release together over to the right. Receive the breath. Bring them back to center, please. Just going to allow the hips to know where they want to go today. Release the next breath. Release the knees over towards the right. Receive. Bring them back up into center. Now you know, your body knows. Let's continue. Receive a deep breath. Begin releasing and release the knees over to the right. Keep the journey moving. Flow with movement and breath. You might have your head in neutral and that feels right and serves you well. You might begin turning your head over towards the left. And just a reflection on this peeling away the layers of obligation, any unwanted feeling. Please modify, realign, readjust. Create your yoga so it's something you openly and honestly want to practice. Not feeling an obligation that you have to. One more breath. And let's all come back to center. Receiving of a breath. Hug the thighs together just a little bit. Support the legs. And then bring them back up into the center. Your head's in center, right? Press into the sole of your right foot so you can hover the right hip and recenter the right hip. Now you begin to release the eagle legs. You bring that left foot down. You bring the arms down. You pick up just the right foot and let both hands and arms give that right thigh a nice big hug in towards your chest. Shoulder blades relaxed. Breath deep. Feel that opening. Yeah, and then let's release the hug. Softly begin releasing the right thigh away from the chest. Release the hands and arms. Bring the outer right ankle on top of the left thigh. Open that right knee out to the right side. By itself, if you intuitively want to work from the inside out, or allow the right hand just to rest above the right knee and give it a little encouragement of opening out. Feel that opening. Next breath. Start lifting that right knee upwards. What happens when you just do that? What do you feel? What do you notice? And then cross the thighs together deeply. Really hug them together. Right foot just on the outside of the left leg, or the left foot picks up. You wrap the right toes behind the left leg. Reopen those arms. Wingspan or sun god. Press into the sole of the left foot so you can just hover the left hip. And then scoot the left hip over delicately, just a little bit to the right side. Bring the left hip down. Receive a big deep breath in. Release the breath. Just release the knees where the breath releases to. Bring them back up to center. Receiving breath. Again. As you release the breath, the knees release over to the left. Just a breath's worth. They receive your breath and you bring them back up to center. Now we're prepared. Everything right. Breath is deep. We'll continue this journey. The breath is received deeply. The breath is released and both knees begin releasing to the left. Keep it moving. Invite the breath body to go deeper, helping to relax and release any unknown resistance. We started out our practice today by reviewing peeling back the layers of ignorance. Remember, the dictionary defines that as being unaware, uninformed. Yoga peels back the layer of ignorance by staying aware, staying connected, checking in, staying informed. Invite that breath to really connect with your body here. And when you're in the full expression, you receive one more full, deep breath. Next breath, we'll go back to center together. Really hug the thighs together. The legs are supported together as you bring yourself back up into center. You press into the sole of the left foot to hover the left hip. Recenter the hips. Lower them back down. Begin releasing your eagle legs. Begin releasing the arms down by your sides. Again, lifting both feet up, hugging both thighs in, or knees towards armpits. And then give yourself this little bit of rolling from hip bone to hip bone. Softly massaging across the low back, the hip area, all the way across the sacrum area. When you cross center next time, please pause. And then begin elevating your legs with or without support. Allow the breath to just go deep and free. Let's just review how this month's theme of peeling back the layers has served you. How did you peel back the layers of ignorance, habit, distraction, and obligation? With our next releasing breath, begin to slowly transition to Shavasana. As always, if it's yogi's choice to keep the legs elevated, please do so. Shavasana is our gifted pose of release. Body relaxes. Breath breathes itself. And our mind returns into settling stillness. Our Shavasana reading for this month. I am slowly peeling away the many layers of me to find myself. gently draw your awareness to that place between your eyebrows, expanding that awareness into your space, and the wiggling through your toes, ankles, fingers, and wrists as we place our left palm at our heart center, right palm across our belly, and nourish our body with several deep, refreshing breaths. And as you receive your next breath, invite yourself to awaken, giving your body an awakening stretch. And from here, we bend our knees, turning onto our right side. And begin rising into your seated pose. In our easy seated poses with our Anjali Mudra, we receive a deep breath. And together, as we release this breath, we bow forward, thanking our body for the movements available to us today, and thanking ourselves for showing up on our mat today. We rise together. And as we close, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Please begin to unmute.